Welcome everyone to my E3 reactions and thoughts and opinions from Microsoft and EA. And I'm actually doing this right after I just kind of saw the conclusion of EA's press conference live on Spike TV. So what I'm gonna actually do is I actually want to remind everyone that I actually missed Microsoft's press conference today because I actually had class, so I couldn't actually skip class or anything. So I actually had class was actually during the whole conference Microsoft, so I actually didn't watch it. So what I actually did, I actually kind of looked up like the highlights and everything that was kind of announced, like all the titles and everything. So I kind of took in all the games and everything that was kind of announced during the conference on written down here, along with I also have here that the E3 coverage of everything that was pretty much that kind of went on during the conference. So I just wanted to give everybody the heads up that I actually didn't watch. I actually missed Microsoft's conference this year for the very first time. So what I did was actually look up the highlights online and find out all the news and updates about the news content that they actually have and maybe their plans for this year for the console itself. So what I'm actually do is kind of first I'm gonna actually start off with by just kind of going through all the titles that they actually announced. So I know it wasn't. I don't actually know the specific order, but I actually wrote down all the titles that was pretty much announced for today. So one of the titles, like going through the titles, were Killer Instinct, and Halo 5. Dead Rising 3, Battlefield 4 multiplayer was actually revealed and kind of shown as well, some gameplay, I guess. And Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, Insomniac's newest title, um, Project Spark, The Witcher 3, and Minecraft Xbox One Edition. So I guess those were the only ones that were actually kind of announced for now. I don't know if those are all the titles. I don't know for sure. So I don't. Just to kind of remind everybody again, I kind of missed the conference. So I think those were pretty much all the kind of the highlighted, pretty much all the titles that were pretty much announced with the system that's going to be coming out for the Xbox One. So when I actually kind of heard that it was actually supposed to be from the prices, I heard about they actually announced the price for the Xbox One, which is going to be with the launch title price with the retail price will be like $500, and I think that's kind of a little bit expensive in my opinion. I was thinking that was going to be probably like close to 400 or something, maybe 400 to 450 in that kind of price range. But then when I kind of think of it, like $500 is pretty expensive for a system. But in anyway, I also kind of heard that none of the issues concerning like the Xbox One, like for example, you know the when you can't kind of lend your friend, like how you can't rent, you can't lend your friend like games, and you actually have to be friends with people like a specific someone, like a specific friend for that you want to kind of let someone borrow your games. They have to actually be friends with you for at least 30 days. You actually have to be friends with that Xbox Live friend for um, Xbox Live friends with that particular person for at least 30 days, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. And some of the other stuff, some of the other issues concerned with the how you can't the need for it and how to it's pretty much a major factor for how it actually has to be online. It's pretty much an online. It's always online, kind of pretty much an online console, pretty much. And it's kind of, in my opinion, what I actually think about the Xbox One. I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I want to get one because, in my opinion, don't get me wrong though, but I like these games that because I actually watched some of the gameplay of that. That's even though I kind of missed the Microsoft conference, I kind of watched some of the gameplays of the videos of the newest titles that were actually coming out for the Xbox One as well. And I also forgot to mention Metal Gear Solid 5 as well. That was also a multi-plat for the game for Xbox One and PS4 also. But also what I want to say is that I'm kind of on the fence that I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not really sure if I want to get like an Xbox One or not because like for those features that it comes with are kind of like they're kind of fishy and they're kind of suspicious. And I don't know if anybody else kind of get that feeling too that a console that's always online and it also has some kind of 24-hour check-in, I think, where you have to be on online. I'm not really positive about the feature itself that you actually have to be online for at least 24 hours and it's like a 24-hour check-in for the console itself. I think that's kind of stupid too, and it's kind of weird too as well. And it's just not like a console that I would probably get because even with all these great games that kind of look good, even though they look good for now, and some of these games are actually multi-plat. But some of the exclusives they showed, they were pretty good, and they actually look good gameplay wise and graphic wise. But I still don't know. I don't feel like I actually have the. I don't feel like I want to actually want an Xbox One right now, and I would kind of, in my opinion, I would actually wait for like a price drop or something because $500 is pretty expensive. I don't know how much is they're gonna actually charge for the PS4 later today when I actually watch the conference, but I really think that's really too expensive for a console that has all those features. But I mean, I can understand it has all those capabilities and abilities and all that other stuff. But I think that $500 is kind of going way off the board, even with like already with all those issues being a problem with your console already with the Xbox One, and now it's just a price problem now, and now it seems like it's going to be an issue with the price range also with it actually being $500 as a retail price. But that's just what I think about the Xbox One. But I may or may not get one, but I'm not really sure if I'm not going to get one on right on the launch day. Like on launch day, I probably won't get one, but I'll probably just wait in the future and kind of wait for the price drop or something. Probably when it's like almost around that $400 range or maybe $350 or something. But who knows? Unless it gets a little bit cheaper than $500, it's just that's when I'm probably gonna actually get one. Wait for actual price drop and maybe see what else that they actually come out with. Cause I like all the I actually liked all the games that they actually talked about and they actually showed. Even though I didn't watch the conference, I actually went online to actually take a look at the highlights and some of the great gameplay, the gameplays of the video games that they actually showed. So that's pretty much it for the Xbox One conference. I don't know if that was anything else that I'm missing out because I didn't really watch the conference. But I also heard that it was some kind of also a new ability or some kind of new feature that you can actually broadcast gameplay via Twitch. But I don't actually have a Twitch TV, a Twitch account, so I don't know anything about that. But I guess that's the newest ability feature for it that was actually announced with it. So now we're gonna actually talk about what went on what happened with EA, which is kind of fresh in my head. So I actually wrote down all those titles too, of what everything that happened and all the newest titles that I actually liked and stuff, and pretty much all the games that's coming out from the developers of EA for both the PS4 and Xbox 360, and along with the Xbox One. So the games were for EA that they actually showed was Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. That looked really creative. I like that game. Titanfall unveiled. I also forgot to they showed that pretty much again from Xbox One that I already said and kind of talked about. So they kind of showed more like gameplay for Titanfall and Star Wars Battlefront, Need for Speed Rivals, Dragon Age Inquisition, NBA Live 14, Madden NFL 25, FIFA 14, a new UFC, and well, the two things that I actually kind of took note here that I'm actually going to talk about my favorite parts of the EA coverage was they actually showed a live 64 multiplayer for Battlefield 4, which was pretty sweet, and I actually liked it. It was actually not only live, but you could actually see them actually playing and how they were actually working together as a team. It was kind of sweet and pretty unique. They actually had all 64 players kind of online and connected, ready to play, and they were kind of playing like a game mode of where they actually had to capture like certain objectives or capture like the certain points in the map, like A, B, and C, like certain flags or something, or pretty much specific areas or objectives, whatever you want to call it. That was pretty cool. And then how what I liked about the ending about the multiplayer footage that they actually showed with the 64 player live action with Battlefield 4 was how the building collapsed at the end when it kind of crashed down, and they showed how most of the attackers were trying to shoot it down with the tank, and then the guy called in some kind of mortar strike to take out the enemies that were actually kind of attacking the building, the skyscraper, and that was pretty epic. And then last but not least, they showed their EA's actual surprise was actually Mirror's Edge 2. I didn't actually play the first Mirror's Edge, but I don't know how the game's really like, but I guess it looked pretty cool too. So I never actually played a Mirror's Edge before, so I might end up getting that too whenever it comes out. So that's pretty much it for Microsoft and EA's conference. But overall, I enjoyed them, and I actually think that I think they actually redeemed themselves. Microsoft's on Microsoft's behalf, I think they actually redeemed themselves and everything from that little from their past, what their actual Spike TV coverage of the Xbox One reveal. So I think they kind of redeemed themselves, but I think I'm still gonna kind of wait on trying to actually get in the Xbox One and wait for an actual price drop and see what happens with that. And maybe they'll come out with some more other games also. So it's really hard to tell what's gonna actually happen. So all we gotta do is kind of wait till see what the future holds and see what the future brings for us, and see what happens with Xbox One. But right now, how I'm feeling about that, how I'm feeling about Xbox One, I'm probably not gonna get one right off the bat on launch day. I'm probably gonna wait for like a little price drop or something. But I still don't kind of like how they kind of didn't address those issues about the big questions about lending the games to other friends, people that can actually play your games and trade in games, this, that, and the other, and all that other stuff. They didn't kind of address those issues from what I heard, even though I didn't watch the conference. But it's pretty bad, and just the fact that I heard that they actually kind of canceled their Q&A session was pretty bad also, and kind of a bad move, because that kind of still leaves the big question, like, what's going to happen? Will I actually have to buy another Kinect, or what if something actually happens? That's my big question. Will I actually have to buy another Kinect? Say something happens to my Kinect, if I break it, or maybe I lose it, maybe it shatters or something happens to it. Can I buy a Kinect separately from the system, or will I have to buy another console? That's just my big question. And maybe just the issues that the most famous issues that are actually being most of the issues and questions that are still kind of up in the air and kind of unanswered. So that's pretty much my thoughts and feelings about EA and Microsoft's conference. So later I'll also be doing a part 2 for the video for Sony's conference coming up later. So this is just going to be part 1. So I just thought that I could actually put EA and Microsoft's conferences and updates and infos and everything like that with the gameplays and all the titles and everything launched in this part. So it'll definitely be a part 2 coming up later tonight. We'll just pretty much spotlight Sony's conference, which will be later on, which is pretty much 9 Eastern time, my time, where I live. So that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and feel free to let me know what you guys thought about the conferences.